September 6th, 2010. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, show 96.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
It sure is.
Well, welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. I am Murdock, and with me is Grumpy McGee.
He's angry because he had to put his pants on today.
Yeah.
I have...
I was looking forward to a full day in my boxer shorts. Then I get the call. Crew call's falling down on the job again.
So I have Brian, Steve, and coming back for his 97th appearance for Diehard Gamer Radio, we welcome back Mike, the real deal Robeson.
Yep.
He was apparently here for the proto episode.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
And lacking a good excuse, I was forced to come over here.
Yes, we had goons come over and grab you.
He was compelled.
Yep.
So,
The power of the podcast
Compels you. Yeah.
So anything we want to share before we get to the news? Do you want to go over your elaborate pants putting on?
Well, I
thing?
had to put some pants on because I was just in my boxer shorts when you called. And
Uh-huh.
I thought it would be in good form to show up for the podcast wearing pants. So I
That's
quickly
good.
assembled a clean pair of pants.
And although he's not as young as he used to be, he had to put one leg in at a time. And
Yeah, I couldn't jump right in them like I used to be able to.
Were you able to do that at all
Yeah,
back in the day?
back in the day, yeah, when I was in my 20s and still full of energy.
And the weight of the world.
The weight of the world had crushed my soul.
All right, so let's go to our first news bit. Hello Kitty online launches, which would interest Steve. No, wait.
I did like the
The crafting system that was
Well,
announced
yeah.
for Hello Kitty.
There's a crafting system in Hello Kitty.
I don't know.
No, I'm making that up.
but
That's pretty funny.
But the funny thing is apparently and I seem to recall this from Tycho mentioning it. You can there's some form of guild system.
Wow.
And
Wait.
so you can like take and like you can make like like the whole thing where like the Lego deal, or no, it was when he was talking about
do you have to pick up pussy pesos or what?
Yeah,
the-
did I have money?
the online groups that they had for the online golf thing for links online or whatever, where you could have clan tags for it when they had it out, and like so people had like the little bat wing things for their clan tags and stuff like that.
Oh
And
my God.
apparently you could
Okay.
do that in Hello Kitty too. This is what I hear anyway.
Hmm.
I have not yet actually.
So what is the subscription fee to Hello Kitty online?
I don't know.
both your testicles.
Yeah.
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 You give up your manhood at the door.
So do you like?
Sanrio implants you with some sort of tracking chip.
Yeah, really. Do you fight off the forces of
Batsmaru.
or, unhappy people or whatever?
Bats.
Whatever. Hello
You fight
Kitties.
off the I don't know, Rainbow Bright Brigade.
Yeah.
The
The
strawberry
strawberry
The
shortcake.
strawberry shortcake battalions.
Yep.
You
The
just,
Care Bears.
You just go after, all the American
Care
greetings
Bear
IPs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna craft a red ribbon and put it in my hair.
Good luck with that, Mike.
Yeah, so that's it.
Okay. So, Sega announces Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity, which is awesome for people who still play Phantasy Star.
I don't think I've touched that since
Yeah.
the Dreamcast, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Dreamcast was the last good one. The one on the Xbox was so terrible.
And the Dreamcast was like the third or fourth version of it
Yeah.
at that time, so I pretty much got burned out on just grinding all the time.
Yeah, once I got to level 100, I'm like, okay, I think I've played this enough.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad because it would be a cool MMO.
It just
They-
took so long to build up to get nice weapons and,
Well,
and
you
keep
just
going that it just
don't
was
do that.
unnecessary.
You just don't do that. You change the game so that you can level up quicker.
Ah.
Yeah.
By the way, Steve was molesting my microphone for some reason.
Well, you know how Steve is.
You're sounding a little weak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to get my manager.
Yeah, speak into the microphone there.
Oh, it was just scurvy. I'm sorry.
See, I can tell you didn't print out this list at work, did you?
No.
Yeah, I can tell.
It looks clean.
How can you
Yeah,
tell?
well,
it
because
looks clean.
the toner is actually prominent and solid. It doesn't look like it's.
If you saw the one from work, you might have had waves in the down the
It doesn't
line.
look like an HB LaserJet that hasn't had new toner put in since 1986.
It's been like 1984. I mean, it's still good.
So we have like Hello Kitty, but we didn't do any research on Hello Kitty.
Well, what research is there?
Listeners, like the game. What's it about? Do you fight enemies? Do you just make?
No, we don't. You don't understand.
You must have us confused with a different podcast.
Yeah, we don't.
I'm
We don't
sorry.
do. We don't do. We don't do research here.
I'm
It's against the rules.
sorry. I apologize.
What happened? You put your pants on? You just
Yeah,
forgot
I
all the
put
rules?
my pants on, and the blood was squeezed into my brain, and I started having thoughts again.
So next up, by the way, Mike putting on his pants will not be the Photoshop of this episode.
Come on,
You're-
on. You know you want to.
But no. So, Final Fantasy XIV has a fatigue system in place, which a lot of people are bitching about for some.
Correct. Are you kidding me?
So, for each class and character, you will get normal experience for 8 hours, followed by a slow drop off over the next 7 hours that ends in no experience gain. And that goes for both class levels and physical levels, which means after the 16 hours of play, your character's physical level cannot advance further until a week has passed from the start of leveling.
Is that a week in real time?
Yes.
You've been pussified.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's gonna really.
That is
It's
the
gonna make
dumbest
people.
thing
It's gonna make people really angry, and I'm gonna love it.
No, it's going to make
No,
people
it's-
stop playing it because it's like, I got to wait a week to play this again?
And,
Fuck
and,
that.
and,
they're
and keep
gonna-
in mind
oh
that you
my
are
God.
paying a monthly fee for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'd call them and say, I want my money back if I had any balls to, actually call them after I'd paid for the game.
Why are they fucking up Final Fantasy? The last one sucked. The one before that sucked.
let's think of this way.
And now they're
if you-
making
if
it
you have
really
a-
suck.
If you have a if you have a job, the chances of you using up your 16 hours of play in 1 week is actually pretty low.
Well, yeah. But still stupid.
It's intended to basically kill the power levelers, and I laugh at them.
Well, okay then. I'm glad that you're filled full of
I'm
glee.
filled full of glee.
with a game that you'll never play.
I know, it's awesome.
I mean,
So you like when power levels get power levelers
Well,
get
yeah,
butt hurt?
like when you get the 12-year-olds that make it to level 70, and
Yeah, they have no life or no job.
They just
and
sit there and grind for the
yeah.
whole time. You're
I,
like,
I think
okay.
the word is hikikomori.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, really.
you skipped a news item.
I did?
Yeah,
Which one?
the Fantasy Star Portable
No,
2
we were
Infinity.
just talking about that.
What?
We were just talking about. Did you tune out for
I
like?
did,
5
apparently.
You entered a fugue state where like.
Yeah.
No.
Well, obviously, I had nothing good to say about it. So
Mike, it was 1,000-yard stare.
It must have been, yeah.
it was.
We had the Robuchet. He just kind of droops into the 1,000-yard stare here,
Well, okay.
and then snaps back in when he hears Final Fantasy. Well, oh, I
Steve
have
was
an opinion
Steve
on
was
that.
having a flashback,
I was. That was.
and not the video game.
Yeah.
There's a
I
lot
was-
of MMOs in the podcast today.
Yeah.
He had a flashback of Nam, except he's never been there, so that's what made it
Bible
really
MMO
weird.
Is,
No,
whatever.
Steve was there
You
up
know-
the Mekong Delta into the
Yeah.
Devil's Jockstrap.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah.
We
hopped
had
up on some sort of jungle weed.
So the jungle weed, and
Some
we
jungle
had
mushroom.
we
Hopped
had
up on
all
some
those
jungle
Marines out of the
The-
fix that they made for
The
themselves.
devil's birthday.
The devil's
In
birthday.
Cambodia.
In Laos, we were.
Hopped up on some.
Apocalypse,
jungle mushroom.
wow.
Now what's
Yeah.
funnier, Laos or Cambodia?
I don't know.
Laos has a funnier name.
Laos is kind of funny.
Okay. So next,
Cambodia is funny if you're talking about like dictators, though.
is that so?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're talking about dictators, you have to go with Cambodia.
For-
Laos is funnier for like violence.
Okay.
Huh.
That was Mike's one to grow on, I guess.
And knowing is half the battle.
It is.
So next up, the Bible as an MMO. So the Bible Online is a new massively multiplayer online game from German outfit FIAA, and will, over the course of many chapters, give players the chance to reenact certain parts of the Bible. Once you succeed in the send scouts into Canaan mission, you cannot complete the lead your people into the Promised Land storyline. So,
Huh. Can I
What's
be
really weird-
Pharaoh and suffer the wrath of the Lord? And
What's really weird is this came from
12
the Germans.
There was a really, really, really funny post on Penny Arcade about the Pharaoh chasing the Israelites and trying to cross the Red Sea, and it was all done as Leroy Jenkins. Well, at least they have pyramids.
yeah, at least I've got pyramids. So how is this massively multiplayer? Like
one person gets to play as a Jew and complete a pyramid? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, basically, it's as far as history has so far shown us now. It's a bunch of you'll play as a bunch of Jews who don't like how much they're getting paid to build the pyramids, and so they take their ball and go home into the desert. So
I didn't think they were being paid.
yeah,
Oh,
there's
okay.
no historical evidence of a lot of Jews that were living as slaves in Egypt.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And then the aliens came to show them better, easier ways to build the pyramids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when does the Lord Xenu pack come up as an add-on? That'd be kind of awesome. Oh, wait.
I would imagine that would be a launch title. I wouldn't want to see that wait.
Oh, okay.
And
So-
the volcanoes.
Yes. So this will be interesting to...
So now we've mocked a religion, and we've mocked Cambodians and Vietnam War veterans.
And kitty
And
lovers.
kitty lovers. Yeah, we're batting 1,000 here. We're only to item 4 of 17.
Yeah. So next up, Xbox 360 voice chat being upgraded.
It sucked before. So now it works now? It's being upgraded.
It just
to
sucks a
where it
little
works
bit
now?
less.
Yeah, the upgrade's around November, so we'll be able to hear racial epithets in even clearer detail.
That's
How do
awesome.
they even upgrade this? How does this even
Well,
work?
Well, it doesn't sound like the ghost host from Haunted Mansion. That would be a good opener.
so instead of using real media, I guess they're using some other sort of
Yeah,
codec.
Yeah, it's just like going from TeamSpeak to Ventrilo.
Yeah.
No, they're using the same technology they
All
used
the
in
steel.
Mavis Beacon teaches
Oh.
typing.
Mavis Beacon. Oh. I had a flashback. I'm sorry.
No, it's what was that?
Thinking things.
No, was it Strictly Speaking or was it Dragon?
Oh, Dragon. Yeah, Dragon was the one that it was supposed to be all hot and popular. And no one
Oh
would
yeah.
pay
Actually, that utility actually works pretty well now.
Oh,
It took like 15 years.
Yeah,
but it's
I
actually
was gonna say I haven't worked.
Whole new
that was
team
the
and-
IBM's Dragon naturally typing, natural
Yes.
speaking thing.
Mm.
Yes, gets 1 out of every 3 words correct.
Yeah, works pretty well
Awesome.
now.
Sweet.
So it's just like going to a drive-through and ordering your meal.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
You're tied down where? Where do you need the chopper?
Yeah.
So anyway, next up, just some quick news. The Tokyo Game Show is coming up November 16th through the 19th. We will not be attending the Tokyo Game Show.
Why not?
Well, for
Oh,
one,
NDK is so close to it.
Yeah.
yeah, we don't want to make
Then
sure.
the $1,400 plane ticket.
Ah,
Well, it's less than 1,400 if you don't mind, flying in cargo.
steerage, yeah. With
Well,
the chickens and the cows.
And you're dressed up like a dog and you got your coloring book.
Yeah.
Did the Omega Knots this year at PAX again get tickets for the Tokyo Game Show? Because it's kind of weird that, like, I hope you had more vacation time to spend because TGS is in a week.
I
Jeez.
don't know what the prize is. Probably your very own your very own portable neck beard that you can take with
Yeah,
you.
there you go.
The Omega Knot, the final round this year was the Claw game.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it rigged like the actual claw
Yeah.
game?
Probably.
No, they probably brought some carny in. and tried
Stuff
to,
it all
there
down.
you
Man,
go.
I always got yelled at by my boss for not pushing down the little things hard enough in the Claw game when I worked.
Oh,
at
like
Arcade.
packing them in hard
Yeah,
enough?
you have to pack them in. They tell you to pack
So
them
they can't be
so
pulled
they
up
can't
as
be pulled
easily.
out as easily. And I'm like, well, but see, and this guy
They ain't
was
gonna win anyway. It's
Well,
like
this guy's-
rigging a dice game. You ain't gonna win anyway.
this guy was from Russia. His name was Sergey,
Oh shit.
and he
So he had
I was trying to
claw
explain to
game
him-
mafia contacts.
I was trying to explain to him the principle of intermittent reinforcement, which is
Oh yes.
how gambling works, and he didn't really understand. I'm like, you have to let him win once in a while, otherwise they're not
there's
going to
no
keep playing.
point to come back. Yeah.
And he's like, "Whoa, no, we make money by not giving out the things." I'm like, "Dude, you paid like 5 cents for this stuffed animal.
Yeah.
You know,
How much
you're,
are you making
you're winning
each time
every
they put it
they
in?
play."
Yeah. Well, just ask him, hey, you want me to glue them down?
Yeah.
We can glue them down, and then they'll never win.
Yeah, he was kind of a tard.
Yeah.
Then he got kind of axed. So
Oh.
he
well,
was such an ass. This one time, this like 6 foot a million black dude came back and he pissed off to the arcade with a bow staff to beat the crap out of him. That was pretty entertaining.
Oh wow, was he still there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the bow staff went like whipping around and like went into the.
Well,
Mortal
you know,
Kombat
the guy came back at night, and at night we had rent-a-cops. So
Oh, he didn't get very far.
not very. I mean,
Not
like
very well
actual-
planned.
Actual real rent-a-cops, not like ball cops, but like
Oh,
you know,
like
off-duty
police
cops.
officers.
Yeah, that didn't turn out so well for him.
Ah.
That would have been pretty entertaining.
It was. We had a wall of shame that was pretty tall. It
Wall
went
of-
back to like 82.
Yeah,
Like people had gotten kicked out of the.
Oh,
you put their picture up,
Yeah,
or-
or
okay,
like
yeah.
we're gonna ever notice any of these people ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This-
they'll not allow these. These are not to be.
There were
to be
literally
done.
150 people on that wall, and it was like, fuck, if anybody's ever
So
gonna recognize.
someone
me.
was writing a check for tokens or something.
Bounce
Yeah.
that $5 check for tokens. They're
Pretty
never
much.
allowed back in.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So next up,
So what's at the Tokyo Game Show?
Tokyo's.
Like
Tokyo's.
Tokyo
Tokyo
Joe's.
Joe is
like cosplayers and video
Well,
games.
you know, there is an inordinately large supply of really hot cosplayers at
Well,
TGS.
yeah,
That's
But
one thing
you
they know how
can't-
to do right.
But you can't get to them because they're all surrounded by photographers that are trying to get upskirts.
Well, dude,
Well,
they're
well,
like,
it's like
they're 3
Zergs.
feet tall. You just kick them over.
It's like what's
it's
her
like
name?
a wall of hobbits. You just
It's-
knock them down.
It's
It's
like,
like knocking over a porcelain doll.
Who's
Yeah.
who's the chick in StarCraft?
Kerrigan.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Kerrigan standing in the middle of a bunch of Zerg.
Sarah Kerrigan.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You
So,
haven't seen
like-
you haven't seen those pictures? I mean, it's literally 4 deep of photographers surrounding these chicks,
Well, what
getting pictures of
what
them.
needs to happen
Just
is
need to
that
knock them down.
no, what needs to happen is that the
They're-
company
they're all
that
polite. They won't ever. They don't
Yeah.
pretend like you didn't do it.
no, the company needs to go ahead and hire their own photographers and get the upskirt photos first, and then sell them to the patrons as they come in.
There you go.
And then that way, you know,
Cut
they can
out the
just
middleman.
Did you like the third
company?
Morgan? Here's her. The company. You know,
Wayland Utani.
you need to-
Should I
Wayland
get these-
Yutani, yeah.
Need to get pictures first.
Wayland Utani's pictures.
So next up, we have ASF Soul Calibur 5. For th-
God, there's
yeah.
another Soul Calibur.
They're only up to 5.
They're really slow coming out. Tekken's
Well-
the one that's like yearly.
there was a Soul. Wasn't there a 3D Soul Calibur like
They were all
on the
3D.
Wii? It was like
They're all
a
3D.
platform adventure game.
Oh
No,
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
was-
There was like an RPG one that was really stupid.
No way. It was dumb. Oh shit. Now I can't get a Wii.
and technically this would be Soul Calibur 6 because there was Soul Edge or Soul Blade, which is part of the series.
Soup taper.
Blade.
Soup taper.
Soup taker.
Yep. Soup blade.
Okay, it's another fucking Soul Calibur.
All right.
Yeah.
Why?
So next up, price change for Xbox Live Gold subscription.
Oh yeah.
So as of November 1st, the pricing goes up.
That's not true for everybody, though. If you're an existing member right now, you can go on there and renew your subscription, and they won't charge you until the end of your current subscription, but you only pay $39.99 for that renewal.
Or you
Yeah.
can go and buy a billion 12-month game cards.
Well, you better buy them now because Amazon's not going to carry them any longer after they run out.
That's what I mean.
And
There's
I
no
know,
buy and buy,
but I don't know.
you know.
Buy.com might still be carrying them. They're the other big retailer that was still selling them like Amazon
So
was.
it goes from $50 a year to $60 a year.
Yep.
Yeah, so it goes from $4.50 to
To
$5 a month. Yeah.
I
Really
don't
not a
think
big
it's
increase.
deal, yeah.
You know, considering all the things they've done and the fact that it's been a static price for the last 4 or 5 years
And the fact that
Hasn't it been
like,
this
they've
price
torn
since
so
like
many
when they
fucking
first
movies.
started?
for
So
the
it's
year.
been like 8
yeah.
years,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
I don't think it's been 8 years. Well, I don't think it. I'm not talking all the way back to the original Xbox. Just the beginning of the 360.
Mm.
I don't remember how much it was on the original Xbox.
I think it was the same, but Live really didn't exist until like 3/4 of the way through the first system's existence anyway. So it
It's
seemed
worth
like
it just
3/4
for
of the way.
streaming the movies through Netflix. It really
Well,
Well,
it's like
they've
nobody
added
had-
so many things to me. You've got Twitter and Facebook and
Well, I think
Hulu's
this-
coming out for it.
And I think this is
yeah.
also helping pay for that ESPN thing. That
Yeah, there's that too.
Well, there's a lot of people that were pointing out. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but there was a lot of Wargle, and
Well-
basically what they should have done is they should have, when they announced like the ESPN stuff and all that sort of thing, they should have intimated that Xbox Live is going to go up at $10 a year or something like that to pay for this other stuff. So. I don't
Well,
know,
the
whatever.
smart people actually post that, though. They're like, I don't understand why people are complaining because it's understandable. When you add all these new options, it's probably reasonable.
Well,
And-
whenever you raise the price on anything, there's going to be people. who
Well,
cry
plus, and
about
it's a
that.
bad economy, so people are even more.
Yeah, but the trade-off is that you have an online system that actually fucking works.
Well, yeah. It's
Unlike
not
the
like
PlayStation.
So what you're
3.
saying? All the
Yeah.
people complaining are the PS3 owners? Or?
Yeah.
Or the people that haven't gone over to the PSN network or whatever.
Ugh.
Wait,
I'm just gonna go over
Plus-
to PSN and then they go over and they're like, damn it, I want my live back.
Yeah, it seems to work until you realize you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
When the Wii
I
has
was
a
fooled.
when the Wii has a better online network than PlayStation,
What
there's
is
a
it with Nintendo and new technology? They just don't ever do it.
Well, they do it, but they do it like 5 years
They're-
after everybody
they're-
else has
Well,
done it.
then it's not new technology.
they've been
Now look at them. They've
overly
always
cautious.
been behind. They were the
Yeah,
last
the
one to
last
put
one
in
to put a disc.
to go from a cartridge to a disc. Yeah.
They killed them on the
And when they
N64.
did-
Fucking killed them.
And when they did go to it, they went to like some bizarre, mini disc. thing.
Yeah.
The mini disc. And
It's
now,
like,
What are you saying? You don't like getting 4 different discs in
Yeah.
your
yeah.
game that you got to swap out?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I gotta get a bigger hard drive.
Oh,
For my 360.
yes.
Anyway,
So
See, what is it with the?
How big is yours
360
right
and-
now?
20. I've got the original one still.
Yeah, it's like a decent sized one is like 150
I don't know.
bucks.
If I end up getting the Kinect, I'll just buy the.
I'll sell you my 60 because I'm
Okay.
buying a 250 from a friend.
now,
It's like their
I'd
wireless
probably
is
end
still
up buying the
$100.
Kinect system anyway. It's got a 250
Oh, okay.
in it, so
if
whatever.
I
I'm
need
just
to
waiting.
replace my Xbox, I will mention right now that I will not buy one with Kinect. I mean, I do have a
Well-
reputation to keep.
What?
Well, you don't really do things that are physical in front of your game system anyway, so it's not
Well,
going
I
to really
do.
serve
Well,
any purpose to you.
Well, I do physical things.
That was
I
in
mean,
front of your laptop.
I mean,
I
mean,
I apologize.
there's that
It's
whole.
in front of my laptop.
I mean, I did
apologize.
just pick up Metroid Other M, and Samus was pretty hot in that armor. So
Stop now. Oh.
I think Sin and Punishment is about as physical as you get in front of your TV.
I mean, really, everything for the Xbox costs way more for no fucking reason.
It does.
It's like
Because
the
they can.
wireless is still $100. I'm like, really?
Well, but now if you buy the newer systems have and built in, so
Yeah, they're finally
that's
integrating
delightful.
it into the newer systems, but
See,
it's
so
just
now
like
I
no,
really want
it's
mine to burn up now.
it's just like
Yeah,
any
basically.
technology. They're gonna milk it for as long as they can, and then hey,
Well,
look,
I
we just did
mean,
this finally.
they
We're trying to save you money.
they do
Ha.
it because people pay for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the market bears the price, and so that's why they
Right.
keep doing it.
All
Well,
right.
and they also have a certain amount of R&D that they've invested, so they've got to make money for a certain period of time before they introduce the new technology. A lot of times they've had the technology for a year or two, but they want to make a certain amount of money out of each step of the process before they finally give you
2
the
terabyte
stuff.
hard drives are $70 now for a PC. You can't tell me that it's significantly different for an Xbox.
Yeah, but they've made a lot of money off the terabytes and the 2 terabyte drives when they first came out
They
too,
have
because there's always
terabyte
early
drives.
adopters.
Well, they buy whatever the cheapest is they can buy in lots is what the 360 does, because it's they move up whenever it becomes more expensive than it used to be to buy the hard drives in lots of the old size.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Because
actually.
like the 20 gig ones, you can't buy 20
You're
gigs in
not
lots
gonna
anymore
do
because
that.
nobody's making them.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
exactly.
buy a 20 gig hard drive anymore.
Now it's actually going in the reverse. So if you need a smaller hard drive, you're going to pay more to get the
Yeah.
smaller because everybody's making them
And
larger.
that's why they move.
Yeah,
That's
it's
when
always
they
been the
move
same
up.
with PC.
That's when the 360 drives move up, is when those lots become more expensive, and so they up it. Although I don't, in the 360 hard drives, they're not 3.5-inch drives, are they? I thought they're like the 2.5 inch like laptop
You know
drives.
what? I have no idea.
I haven't
I thought
opened
they
one
were
up.
standard size.
It seems kind of small.
The original, the
casing
very
seems
first
small.
360s had the standard size drives because I'd seen one pulled out of it before. It was a regular drive.
The
Yeah.
casing seems kind of small to fit.
No,
a,
it's
a
it,
three,
it
a
no.
3.5 inch drive.
I've seen one opened and it's just like a standard hard drive.
Yeah, that's why they're
So can I-
because people were interchanging them like 3 months after they
So,
came
so you
out.
could
they were
open up
putting
the
a bigger
plastic
hard
and
drive
just plug it
them.
in directly.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, into the new
Well,
Xbox.
you have to, but you need to have a You need to have a utility that'll format the boot sector correctly
Oh.
and the file allocation table right. Because
so it's a pain in the ass when you're telling me.
the 360 won't recognize. You can
Windows?
put any size drive in it, but it only recognizes.
Yeah, but
certain,
there's a way around that. You can just go buy an external drive now and plug it into the USB, and it recognizes your external.
As
so
long as it's,
you don't need
know,
to
as long
go
as it's-
swap drives out anymore.
yeah, but it won't like you can't get a You can't get one that's above what the OS will recognize. So if you had like
it's an OS issue, not
yeah.
a hardware issue.
So if you get like a
Oh.
500 gigabyte drive, it'll only see the highest.
250.
That's an officially available drive.
So anyway, let's
So
move.
it's a pain in the ass.
But so you get another 250 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
well, I mean, if
I
I had a
still have-
250, I wouldn't need another 250 at least on
Yeah.
the Xbox.
All right.
There's
Well,
3 gig left, and that's with Fable completely installed. If I take Fable off, I'm still fine. So I don't really need
Jesus.
that.
I gotta,
Alright.
I gotta delete a lot of demos and crap on mine. Anyway,
Alright.
moving on.
So let's go to the next topic: buying used games. You might as well be buying from Hitler, sir. There's been a lot of war garble from
Hitler.
Yes.
Isn't
Didn't-
that a little weird?
Well, that's
Buying them
that's his edition.
It's a little
Oh,
strong.
Murdock's edition.
I thought that was the official game publisher's line.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
you
it
know,
might
the-
as well be.
The old World War II
Yes,
posters where
if
it
you're
showed,
riding with alone, you're
like,
riding with
Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're buying used games, you might as well be funding international Chinese communist conspiracies.
He already made the propaganda poster with that. You gotta
Oh,
see
really?
it.
Yeah, that's fucking sweet.
So there's been a lot of war garble from
It
the
is.
publishers saying that, oh, you're buying used games.
Well, I mean,
Well, there's two sides to that, though. It's one, I understand they're angry because they're not getting money out of the used game, but it's only because that's a brand new game customer that's not paying for the new game. They're buying it used, so But on the other hand, they don't have any investment in that market. They're not fronting a store for selling their own games used. Somebody else is doing it,
Oh,
so they
you know,
can't
you-
complain they're
well,
not getting money from it. You know.
I don't mind them complaining about it because I can see their thing, and I don't blame them for doing the one-time use codes either. So,
Yeah, that's no big deal. I buy all
Well,
my
yeah.
shit from
I mean, if you're
GameFly and I've never had.
Honestly, if you're buying a used
eventually
game,
it's going to become a thing. But if you buy a used game, I
Yeah.
mean, if you buy from GameFly and there's just like some online code and it costs you $5,
Yeah,
great.
I-
You bought the used game for like $25
Yeah.
less than it was new, so I got to pay $5 and get a one-time
you're
code.
still half
I'm
price
still,
from
like,
new.
way
Yeah.
ahead than buying it new.
Yeah,
So
GameFly they're like $25, so I end up walking away $30 game.
yeah, I
It
mean,
was
it's
like
like
$60.
Yeah, exactly.
And you
But,
know
you
it
know.
works because you've been playing it. It's better than the garbage you get from fucking GameStop.
Well, GameStop's used price is like $5 less than the
Yeah,
new,
it's like,
so
why
for
would I-
it's so
anything, for
stupid.
anything remotely current, it's
Yeah.
you know.
Why
it's-
would you roll the dice on their garbage when you just buy it new for $5 more?
I'll go on Amazon or eBay before I
It's
go
like,
there.
I just call that asshole tax. You know, it's like here's asshole tax. I'll just pay it.
Well, especially given that they gave you a $15 credit when you trade it in, and they're selling it for
Yeah.
$54.
Well, that's why
used,
they're
and it's
going to go
like-
out of business.
But it's kind of funny because GameStop is actually probably the best friend for the publisher or the actual creator of the game because they're forcing people to say, well, fuck, I'll just pay another $5
Yeah,
for it and
yeah.
buy it new.
know,
So
I
it's
don't
actually
really-
more for them than it is for the used.
Yeah, I don't really understand how. I mean, I don't understand GameStop's strategy in doing that because it's
Yeah,
like
it doesn't make any sense to
their
me.
margins on selling news games are nowhere near what their margins are.
They're
on
making
used
double
games.
what they take in for
Oh,
paying for it
easily.
used. So
Easily.
that's all it is a 100% markup.
And
I
that's if
bet
they
at the end
pay
of the day, they
$15
just
for the damn game. If they pay you $5 and they're still selling it for 30, that's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
fucking 6 times more.
Well, and yeah, I just.
I mean,
I'm
they
sure
need to
it's
make
just their
money,
markup.
but It's like wow.
Well, I mean, and, it's whatever.
Well, I mean, you have the doctrine of first sale, so they've already made their money. So all it is that they probably saw what GameStop was making, and they're like, yeah, I think I want a little bit of that.
Well, I mean,
I think it's boiling down to greed.
They're, it's
Greed
not
is
like
good, Murdock.
it's
Well,
not like
that's
they're,
true.
most of those publishers make a ton of money on their games. But if I
No, they
if
don't.
I had something where I could find a way to tack on a continuing revenue stream to a game that was getting resold over and over again, I would totally do it.
Well, for the longest time, though, they weren't smart about that. When you bought PC games, most PC games, you would get a code with the game that could only be used that one time with your game, and you'd never be able to use it
That's
again.
why there was never a used PC game.
Exactly.
market.
The home console market didn't have that issue because they weren't smart enough to do that. When you bought the game, you just put the code on that came with the game, and anybody that got that game would be able to log on.
Rampant, copying of retail games.
It wasn't even so much of that. It's that most of these games didn't have an integrated online system where it could register and that sort of thing. And that's become a big thing in the last 10 years. And so therefore,
look at Steam or Battle.net.
Yeah, they're able to have that sort of, revenue stream based on a code that they weren't able to do for the last 30 years because the online infrastructure just wasn't there.
Yeah. So next up, let's talk about the new Xbox 360 with controller with the new D-pad.
I don't even know if we should be talking about this yet. That's not even out.
Well,
we haven't gotten to test it or do anything with it.
Well, Major Nelson did have a video.
Us do anything else.
Yeah, really. Come on now. It makes sense, but why would that stop us?
Yeah, so
it makes no sense for us to make comments on something we have no way of knowing anything about.
So Major Nelson had a video of this, and the video was actually
that's the one from PAX.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because he's like
he brought his own controller into the PAX show for people to look at and play with.
Well, the thing
he's kind of a weird dude.
The thing that I thought was
he actually gets a Microsoft paycheck.
Well, he probably does.
I'm like, wow, did you clear that before you just said it? Did you just spout it off and well, I'm not getting paid for you clowns anyway.
Well, at Microsoft, his nickname's Crazy Nelson.
Yeah. Oh, what's Major Nelson up to now?
But it was pretty funny when you watch the video because the things that he said out of his mouth were pretty funny. The thing that got me was when he said, I've heard from a lot of Xbox 360 users that they don't like the D-pad. I'm like, okay, we've been saying this for 6 years, and you're just now recognizing this fact.
He's trying to give a friendly lead in, like, oh, I'm your friend. And I hear your problems, so look what we're going to do for you.
I don't give a rat's ass about the D-pad.
Yeah, I never use it. I have not used it since the fucking Saturn.
That's why I have an arcade stick.
Yeah, the people who had issues with the D-pad have already solved that by either buying an arcade stick or getting like a fight pad. Yeah. So I don't see why
Xbox
this is the sort of controller improvement you get when you listen to the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't base your product upgrades on what people on the internet are saying because they don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
You know what's really funny about this is they're selling it for $64.99. It comes with its own charge pack. I'm like, oh wow! So they're marking it up on top of finally making a deal for you.
Yeah,
if anything, if they really cared about the consumer, this controller would not only be coming out, but it'd be coming out cheaper than your regular controller.
Yeah, when you can get an arcade stick for less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
somebody missed the boat, and now they're trying to make up for it, and just now they're not even trying to make up for it. What am I saying?
No longer exists. Thank you, Xbox. Thank you, Microsoft.
Thanks for being 3 years behind the curve.
Well, they can come up with new peripherals later on,
I guess.
Well, much later on.
Yeah. Hey, it's the Microsoft Kinect. It comes with the your 3G
the Kinect
cheese grater.
Cool. Yeah. It might be cool. I think it would be fun.
I think it's got a lot of potential. That Michael Jackson game looks really cool.
I haven't seen the Milo. They're like you're going to be his. No, instead of him just watching you, he's going to be your imaginary friend.
Every time I hear Milo,
you have to do things.
I thought they nixed Milo.
They did, but apparently he might be coming back.
Oh, I see.
When I hear Milo, I think of that stupid paperclip that used to be on Microsoft. That would pop
Clippy.
up. Yeah,
that
Clippy.
So it sounds nothing like Milo.
No, but I mean, I think of the same concept. This useless little icon that would pop up and be your friend. And
Milo was going to show up when you're playing Gears of War. It's like, it looks like you don't know how to use cover.
Yeah. It looks like...
No, it
looks like you're having trouble with the chainsaw bayonet.
It looks like Dom is going to die. What are you going to do?
No, you get lost, and he stops and puts one paw up, and he points with his head. Go that way, you idiot.
Yeah. See, that was that Kotaku article.
No, they
guns. They interviewed some of the guys from Gears of War, and they were actually some of the people who had something cogent to say. I'm like, but their game has no real guns in it.
Well, yeah.
Why did you go talk to them? They didn't talk to anybody from Bungie, but they got Mattel guns.
It's probably a matter of who was willing to talk to them.
Right.
At the end of the day,
for the lulz, go and see it for John Romero's remarks.
It's
Well,
it's the people they got
funny.
that were on lunch break that picked up the phone.
Yeah, it must
when
have
they
been
saw
like somebody
Well,
who was dumb enough to pick up the phone.
Well,
oh, hey, it's Kotaku.
Well, we'll go over that later. But
they don't have they don't have them on the block list.
my secret wish, Milo really needs to be a fighting game. I just want.
Nah.
Oh, come on.
Milo might be cool.
You
It
want
might be.
Polygon Love 3, the Milo version.
No, I don't.
Polygon Love 3?
Polygon Love is like some.
It's an arrow game.
Do I want to know what this
It's
is?
a Japanese arrow game.
So it's like DDR but different?
Well, it comes.
No.
It comes with a
Arrow game? What's an arrow?
erotic game.
Erotic game.
Oh,
A smut
I
game.
thought like an arrow, like a pointing arrow. Like,
No, it's a smut game,
Oh.
and I think
Arrow or whatever. How it is.
eroge.
Eroge? Eroge.
Yeah, EROGE.
Eroge.
I only speaks the English.
And
that's the very well.
and I think there's a version. I think
I'm
there's
feeling dirty already. Do I want to know what these are?
there's a version of the game that comes with a camera that recognizes shapes. So I guess if you have something that's shaped kind of like a penis.
Phallic.
Are you?
No,
This
I'm not
isn't-
making
no.
that up.
No.
They're- Erotic game technology in Japan is far superior to ours.
Oh, so they're like
They pretty much
Cyberdyne
mastered it.
systems, and we're like, speak and spell.
We get the little thing where you spin it around and it lands on the letter.
No, we-
and
no, we-
you get the moo
Yeah.
for cow.
No,
We're still sitting around jerking our,
Udders.
to webcam girls and
Making love to real women as
yeah.
opposed to dating sim.
2D
Oh,
girls
okay.
They're-
are superior.
Yeah, they're like
2D.
They're
I'm so far behind.
yeah. Japan's like getting close to Ghost in the Shell, and we're here like clippies on the screen going. It looks like you're trying to masturbate. Do you need help with that?
You're doing it
Looks
wrong.
like- it looks like you're having trouble peeling some chilies. Would you like to- oh, sorry.
Peeling some
It, look-
chilies.
it looks like you're trying to choke the chicken. Would you like me to load some porn for you?
Yep.
Would you like to look at this X10 cam animation?
All right. So how did we get to
Fucking
this?
X10.
All right, so
like
Dude,
chat
the actual cam girls that like make lots of money, they spend a crap ton of money on audio video equipment.
Oh,
They're
I'm
like
sure.
buying prosumer like
Well, that's-
$5,000 cameras.
That's
I'm
like
sh-
reinvesting in the business, though. You
It's
have to-
bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Especially if they get fronted the money.
you look at some of these.
Who would front
these-
them? Oh, the Russian mob fronts them.
No, they
It's
just
all
need,
mobbed up.
They just,
They're all mobbed up.
it's pretty impressive. I'm like, this is some pretty high-end equipment for somebody who just
smart-
sits there naked
Yeah.
all day.
And the smart girl just puts it
people
on a
throw
credit
money.
card anyways, and she pays it off in like 3 months after people get on and see her do her
Huh.
thing.
It's bizarre.
All right,
It's like,
so
I
It's like-
wonder what makes a good cam whore. Like
It's
if you were writing a business plan for a cam whore, and
Huh.
you were going to the bank,
do you
like,
need a
"Hey, I've
business
got-"
plan for that?
Well, if you're going to get a bank loan for all this
You're not
equipment.
going to get a bank loan these days, so it's kind
Oh,
of.
that's true.
You're-
Commercial loans are history. So,
Yeah.
unless you go to the mob.
see, I'm telling you, they're mobbed up. They got like triads or something behind them.
all right, so next up, a new Bangayo is coming out, which would interest both
what
myself
that
and
is.
Brian.
What is that?
I hope
a-
it's more fun than the one on the
Bad
DS because I think
Guy-O.
they just made the one on the DS
Is
too
that like
complicated.
Rikio,
I
but-
love the one on the DS.
See-
It's
sequel?
fun, but it's almost too complicated
I
from the
don't
first
even know
version.
what
It
this
seems like
is.
it wasn't as much fun to play.
We
Is
should
this
have
a
our own
shmups?
conversation about
It's
something else.
kind of, sort of. It's not really a shmup.
It's not really a shmup.
It is,
So
but
what
it
is it?
isn't. It's like a shmup with
It's like
things
a
that are
shmup
not.
role-playing game.
Uh,
It's like a shmup strategy. game.
He doesn't know. He's just throwing things out.
Yes, I am.
It's like a shmup dating
I'm
sim.
gonna-
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
gonna
a-
make you- I'm gonna
It's a
make you
shmup
define
arrow
this game.
J thing.
Arrow
That actually does exist.
I'm
It's
sure
like
it does.
a-
I think
it's
it's
like-
every one of those ones that you
Cobra
play
Mission.
with the little lolies that are
No,
spaceships.
No, those aren't eroge. Those are wank material. There's a difference.
It's
the
oh,
spank
oh,
bank.
it's not a shmup. It's a counter shmup or a reverse shmup.
No,
You're-
it's like a
you're the-
shmup meets a puzzle game meets
It's-
Hercules.
It's like
meets-
Shin Megumi Tensei except Mario Brothers or something. I don't know.
There you go.
where
Persona
Mario
meets
shoots
the Mario
himself in the
Brothers.
head.
Holy
Mario
reach
shoots
around.
himself in
And
the
becomes
head
a
and then-
demon at the end or something. I don't know.
All right. So next up, we have a new disaster report for
Are you
PS3.
kidding me?
No.
I mean,
I bought the last one. I still haven't played it.
Something to do with umbrellas or
No,
something?
no.
No.
How come they don't come out with good games for the PS3? I mean, seriously.
Oh, speaking
They all
of...
suck. Every goddamn one of them. Well, Infamous was fun. And
Are you going to pick up Infamous 2?
There's an Infamous 2 coming out?
Yes.
I might.
If you listen to the podcast, you would know this.
Well,
we're full of useful information that we've thoroughly researched.
I've been
You
here
should know
for
by
every-
now it's Infamous.
I've been here for every podcast since like podcast 30, and I don't remember that there's another Infamous coming out.
So
Actually,
Murdock's
your first podcast was podcast 8.
Murdock's a dirty liar.
Okay, but I wasn't here for the first podcast.
You were here because your voice is on it.
How is that even possible?
It's
Because-
okay, Steve. You missed out on topic number 3,
'Cause I
so
didn't
we
start
understand.
doing Gamer Under
It's
a
like
Rock
18
until
or
much
something.
That's
later.
true. Yeah, he did kind of space out for an entire topic this afternoon.
The Gamer on the Rock didn't happen until
Are you
much
feeling
later.
feverish?
So, what?
Feverish? Are you feeling like?
Maybe you need to shave your head a little more.
You know, I'm thinking maybe he has a fever.
Was it
Not
malaria?
feeling well.
I got one of these summer colds.
Oh.
I got a fever, and the only
don't-
cure is
I
more
don't-
cowbell.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to play that concert tonight.
So next up, we have
it's a summer cold.
since we have so much love for this disaster report game that's coming out, Fast Striker, which is a new vertical shmup for the Dreamcast.
I think this is based on the Neo Geo game that was coming out on the cartridge. I think it just didn't
So,
do so well. and
In
they
other words,
ported
you'll
it.
pick it up.
So
Where are
we'll
they
do-
getting the
I
GD
didn't wanna-
ROMs for this?
I didn't want
They're
to.
not. I think they're just CDs.
Really?
No. There's still GD-ROMs
Are
out
they?
there. They stopped making them, but there's still
So
a surplus of
A
them out there.
goddamn ROM is GD ROM. Goddamn ROM. Is that what they're
No.
called?
No,
GD
it's a
ROMs.
specific
It's the-
type of disc that was used for the Dreamcast. But they stopped pressing them last year, and there's just a surplus
so
of them
easy to
floating
hack
around.
that
But
thing anyway. You can run anything on that.
well, the problem with the Neo Geo game was they made 2 versions of it, and you could buy the high-end arcade version for the dealer, which is like $600, or you could buy the low-end for the home user, which was $400. And I still just could not get myself to drop $400.
on the game.
I was like,
Do you
man,
really?
I really want it, but God, you
You're
know,
losing your gamer cred, buddy.
I don't know. I'm getting
It's
old and
expensive
broke
being
is
a
what I'm
Neo
getting.
Geo collector.
It
No,
is.
just no shit.
Yeah.
It's been a long road.
Well,
I've probably dropped $3,000 on that overall.
And that was just for one game. Oh no, wait.
No, I didn't buy that game.
Oh. No, isn't
Well-
Kazuna Encounters like in the 10 grand range?
No, the last one that sold. Do you guys know about Kazuna Encounter?
No.
About the time the game came out, Neo Geo decided to cancel. They were closing all their stuff. So the games the copies of Kazuna Encounter that had just made it over to Europe, it had made it in Japan,
Oh,
it
right,
made it
right,
over
right,
here,
right.
but it just made it over to Europe. They pulled it the same week it went out. And in fact, it wasn't even supposed to hit the shelves, but it hit the shelves on one store, and they sold, I think, 5 copies before they pulled it. So those 5 copies, because they're the European copies and they're unlike the rest of the copies, went up in value enormously. And the last one that sold on eBay that was resold sold for over $12,000
Wow.
That sounds about right.
just for the collector.
So, like, if I still have a copy of the, like, original Ogre Battle for the Super Nintendo, I can get.
Those are actually worth some money too. Anything with Ogre Battle is short printed pretty much, so it's pretty much guaranteed to make money back.
There's that Panzer Dragoon RPG.
Oh,
yeah, that thing's like what, $200 now?
Wow.
That was a short print too because they only made a
Because
handful.
they
It
were
was at the end of the
fucking
life of the
stupid.
system. Yeah.
They could have. It was a fucking sweet game, and they're like,
Well,
"Oh,
they
it's
were-
the best game for the system.
yeah.
Let's only print 2,000 copies. It's only on CD, so we can print as many as we want."
Well, the system was at the end of its life, so they didn't expect to make any money off of it. So they were like, "Well, we finished the game. We need to make at least what we invested in it. So we'll just make this many copies and hope it sells." And
It sure did.
yeah.
All right, so
it's funny because all those copies of Kazuna that went back to Japan just got relabeled for Japanese use and sent right out.
Sold.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
So next up, Back to the Future game announced. It's not a repeat from the NES version.
It's not a game; it's a trilogy. It's going to be all 3 games.
On one disc, or are they releasing all 3 games separately?
I don't know, but they announced it as a trilogy, so they're going to do the whole thing.
Oh.
Sure, it's not just gonna be a download because they're like doing ginormous games for download.
They
now.
are now. It's
I don't know.
unbelievable. You can
It
get,
might be
like,
part of. It might be like a penny arcade where they release it
Yeah.
episodically.
So
Give you
that's
all
why I
three.
kind of assumed it was.
It's going to come out
I
on
was
the.
looking at like the art direction for it
Yeah,
and stuff like
it's all
that. It didn't look like
cartoony.
they spent a lot of time spending a lot in art.
Well,
art for
it's going to require 1.21 gigabytes
gigabytes, yeah.
of memory to save it.
Yeah, gigabytes.
Oh my god.
You won't be able to play it until you fall off your toilet and crack your head.
Yeah.
No, you won't be able to
Well,
play
that's
it.
already happened. So can I just download it now?
You won't be able
to
to-
play it till you go in back in time and.
No, you won't be able to play it until your mom hits on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For more Back to the Future references,
Tokyo
please listen to the
Jungle.
next episode of Die Hard Gamer Radio. Okay.
Tokyo Jungle.
So Tokyo Jungle is a PS3 survival hunting action game.
Isn't that a oxymoron? There is no jungle in Tokyo.
Well,
Big, buck hunter.
so it's
Are you hunting other Japanese?
No.
Yeah.
No, the story
Are
the
you
story
a buck hunter, Billy? Are
No,
you a
okay.
buck hunter?
So here's the story. The story takes place in 20XX. I love when they do the XX thing, where humans suddenly disappeared from Tokyo and all the animals live and survive in an empty Tokyo city.
So it's
somebody's
like
watching,
12 monkeys.
Somebody
Yeah.
was watching the History Channel.
So you can take control of an animal and survive and fight against other animals in this game. So it's like
Oh.
survival.
How
Yeah,
do
yeah,
we-
yeah, yeah. I
how
read
do
about
we-
this.
How do we make a video game based on life after people?
We
Well,
make
they-
shit up, and then we name it
That's the
20XX.
worst series too.
Life after people? It's
Yeah,
boring. It's just like
yeah, it is.
it's like somebody.
Watch all of our creations crumble and be destroyed. Yeah, well, nothing lasts forever. Guess
I have a
what?
suspicion that show is a farm team for CG animators.
There you go. Yeah.
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's where they throw people that they need, that they've hired for who owns the History Channel,
Discovery Communications.
which is owned by Universal, I think.
No, I think Discovery Communications is on its own.
No, it is not.
It's not?
Nope. They're either owned by Disney or they're owned by Universal. But we've hired these people, but they're not good enough for our cream of the crop programs. So we'll have them do some animation for Life After People for a while,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
level them up a little bit, and then
That is the worst show ever.
No, it's not. There's
No.
plenty of other
most of the
shows
things
from
on Discovery Channel are the worst on things ever.
Whale Wars being
Whale Wars.
yes.
Like
Watch environmentalists
You're watching
shoot
Greenpeace,
potato
harassing,
guns
Japanese whaling ships.
ineffectually at whaling vessels from Japan. They're shooting potatoes at the Nacho Bukkake over on
Yeah.
over in the Sea of Japan.
Yeah.
And then I love the episode. It's like they have this whale on the deck of this huge ship, and it's like, we're a scientific research vessel,
Yeah.
really.
That's Japan's because Japan has like this law where you can't whale except for a few scientific sampling every year, and it's like, well, strangely enough, all this whale meat keeps ending up on street vendors
Yeah.
plates. I don't know what that's all
Yeah.
about.
the-
Well,
our deck
we
is
have nothing to-
drenched in whale blood, but we're a scientific vessel.
Yeah.
Shit.
So next up, holy shit, Duke Nukem Forever.
How,
So
how
this-
long are you
I'll
gonna
believe it.
keep
Believe
believing
it when you
this?
see it. They had a playable version at PAX.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They did. I'm not saying that
They
I
actually
believe it's gonna
spent
come
money
out,
on an actual huge.
but, there was a
booth for
playable
it.
version.
Where
that,
does this money keep coming from?
Well, it's a different company now. So they're a different company bought the stuff
And
for
someone
Duke
must
Nukem.
be giving them money, or they're
No,
spending
that's
their
all
own
it is
money,
new
or
companies just come in and buy
Yeah, they
it,
buy it.
and
the
they
IP,
perpetuate.
and then
And
just
they-
spend money
yeah.
on it, and then
Yeah.
it goes into the dirt. And it's cursed. Why would you even buy that IP?
It's like a phantom game.
It's fucking cursed. It's
Because whoever ends up putting it out is either going to make a whole jillion dollars or it's going to be Daikatana all over
it's
again.
gonna be Daikatana. It already is. It's like,
Well,
holy fuck, who gives a damn about Duke Nukem? Except for that one kid that wrote Yahtzee. He was like, "Where did you get it? Oh my god!" I was like, really?
all right.
They
so
do make
so
some stupid video game players.
so no love for Duke Nukem.
He's got
It's
balls
past
of
his
steel.
prime,
He
yeah.
can take
Balls of steel.
And like I was telling Steve on my Twitter that I hadn't played Duke Nukem, but I had played Commander Keen, and then you complained that it wasn't the same game. I'm
Not
like,
the
I
same
know.
thing at all.
Well, the first Duke Nukem was a side scroller, wasn't it?
Yes, it
Just like
was.
Commander Keen.
Yes,
not,
it was.
Not the same franchise at all.
Well, they were about the same. They were all made by Apogee.
Yes, they all have
Shareware garbage, and then you got to unlock the real game for $19.99.
Apogee.
All right.
Shareware.
So
Whatever happened to Apogee?
Apoja.
they probably went to the land of wind and
Betcha
ghosts, I
Yeah,
would
I
imagine.
bet you Activision bought them.
They boarded the white ships and
Yeah,
sailed
sailed into the west.
So next up,
Fucking guys.
so it's always with the fucking guys.
Well,
Hey, you
you know.
fucking guys.
So
Earth Defense Force. Who the fuck cares?
Oh, Earth Defense Force is good times, man. That game's a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
Basically doesn't agree with you,
No,
apparently.
it's like watching paint dry.
you know
Except
that,
for
that
there's like people.
that's coming
screaming,
out on-
"Wow, look at the paint! Oh my god, the paint!" But that's paint
I have no
drying.
opinion on this game.
that's gonna come out on the Kinect too. Paint dry.
Paint drying the video game.
Yeah, Milo will watch it with you.
Oh.
This game was totally worth the, I think, $14.99 I paid for it.
I think I paid like $4.99 for my copy. One of these days I'll actually play it too.
Oh, it's fun in 2-player, too.
I'm sure it is.
It's probably
So-
going to be on Xbox Live by the time it comes out.
So do we want to do the gun thing first before we go into our topics?
Sure,
So-
We gotta
we gotta get it going.
we gotta get it going here.
Well,
Yeah, it's kind of dragging, dude.
yeah.
Moderate.
All right. So Mike, Kotaku had Gun Week, and you have some war garble on it.
There was a very funny article where they actually interviewed game developers about what they knew about guns, and there's a wide discrepancy between. there's some people who really know their shit and have actually like
Few and far between.
gone and shot guns and like tried and recreate the sight picture in their games, and some of them who are so fucking clueless, it's hilarious. The funniest one, I won't ruin it for you, but it's John Romero, and
Well, that ruins it already. I mean,
well, it's funny because I'm like, what has this guy done in the last 10 years anyway? So we're interviewing John Romero, and they have like pictures of Doom up for his game. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. And let me just put it this way: his hair isn't the only thing girly about him. Apparently, he's really implies that the presence of guns means that people are going to get shot, and that's no fun. So real guns are no fun.
okay.
It's hilarious. You should read it. It's a good article.
It's full of lulls.
It is, and there's some people, like I said, who actually like tried to recreate the sight pictures, and it's like they have pictures of the. I'm like, wow, they really did a good job. And like the guy from Gears of War is like, well, I like to go shoot a light handgun like a Glock, and I was like, huh, well, try a heavier handgun. It's a lot more fun.
It's that Cliffy B.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. It was a guy, one of the guys from Gears of War,
So-
and I'm like, especially since it's like everything in Gears of War looks like it weighs 80 pounds. and the people look like they're like made out of cinder blocks. It's like
Yeah,
I
they're
enjoy
short
the
and stout.
Yeah, I enjoy the lighter weapons. This handgun only weighs 18 pounds.
He's shooting it like a gangster.
Well, that counteracts for the kick that you get when you fire the weapons. You have to have this huge weight.
The frickin' the rifles that they have in Gears of War, you gotta weigh about 500 pounds in order to not be knocked over every
Well,
time you fire.
that does explain the thick necks that all the
Yeah.
characters
I
have.
know. It's like, what were we saying? You know how on Earth there's fluoride in the water to like help your teeth?
Yeah.
In there's anabolic steroids in the
Yeah,
water.
whatever planet that is that they're on.
So next up, a few topics. We'll go over them quickly, but there was some war garble about some sexual themes in games like Mass Effect. Do you even care about sexual
we
themes?
need more.
They need more boobs
Yeah.
and
So,
butts.
so you want sexual
They
themes in what,
hardly
like
ever show
Milo,
anything.
everything.
including
Gotta-
Milo?
Everything.
Okay.
It's like.
So you want
really-
sexual themes in Tetris? Is
Yeah.
what? Wait.
Dude, porn Tetris was awesome.
Hot block
Wait.
action.
Wait. What?
I've never even
porn
heard of
Tetris.
Porn Tetris.
There was all
What?
sorts of
How did I
shareware
miss
games that
this?
were like
How
had
did I
like
miss
little
porn
porn
Tetris?
Tetris. Oh, it was like in '93 or something.
Oh, so my.
You had to pull the games off of your local BBS.
Ah.
And it wasn't that hard to. If you knew how to program, it wasn't that hard to program a Tetris clone.
Well,
so-
Tetris was not that complicated.
So Steve, you really do care a lot about sexual themes and would like to see more of them and subscribe to their newsletter at some point?
Yes.
Okay.
And can you belch for a third time? In the
I could not,
microphone?
I'm out.
Okay. Well, see, it's like they want to be sexy, but they don't ever show anything. So it's like, why bother? If I'm
Well,
gonna
it's
just-
because they want to avoid getting that M for some reason.
who the
Even
fuck
though
cares?
M games sell great as long as they're good games.
What is the one that's above M? That's what I want to see more.
Adults only.
It's
Yeah.
AO.
Which
AO.
will never be on a console. They won't allow it.
They won't allow. Who's they won't allow me to?
The console
The
company,
console companies will not allow AO games on their system.
Oh, really?
which is why you go to PC.
There you go.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like it's hard to find them if you want.
Because you
Well,
know
They're
all
out
the
of Japan once again.
yeah,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
all the AO games on the PC are full of high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High
Custer's
quality
Revenge
pornography.
was such an awesome game,
Oh,
wasn't it?
I wanted to.
Two Blu-rays full of high quality pornography.
Well, yeah, you know, Phantasmagoria 2 was just so erotic.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be a sexy game?
I
There
can't.
was Wargargle.
It was a
but,
puzzle of flesh.
Was it?
What was the one on the Genesis with Dana Plato?
Night
that was,
Trap?
Night Trap.
That was on
not
Sega CD.
erotic at all.
And what about the other one that they brought up before Congress?
Sewer Shark?
No,
Sewer Shark?
I don't think it was Night Trap. I thought it was another one.
It was
No,
one of
I
them
think it
was
was
Night
Night
Trap.
Maybe it
Well,
was.
I can't remember what the other one was. But
Was
it
Mortal
I thought it was
Kombat.
too bloody
And it
and
was-
too adult.
It wasn't. It didn't even show.
Night Trap was
anything.
awful. It was an
so
awful game.
bad.
Yeah.
It's
And-
what's really funny is that they always concentrate on these games that suck ass, like Manhunt.
Yeah.
Like this game is awful. Do you know why nobody plays this game? It's not because it's too violent.
I'm-
it's because this game
I'm
sucks.
totally glad they go after the crap games because it leaves the good games
Yeah.
alone.
Well, I mean, it's the thing. I mean, freaking Fallout 3 is an M game. And,
That's true.
You know, it
Doesn't
sold a
show-
Brazilian copies.
It doesn't show boobs or butts at all.
Yeah, and Night Trap I don't
Well, not
think
unless
had
you
any.
get the mod for it.
I don't
No,
think
that's
Night
true.
Trap had
There's a
anything
lot
sexual
of, like,
in it.
mods for
Yeah.
Oh, sure
PC
there
for,
is.
for
Yeah,
Fallout 3.
Yeah, but like I was saying, I don't think Night Trap had any sexual themes. I think
No,
Mad
no.
Dog
It
McCree
was
had
just
more sexual
It
themes.
was adult, and they claimed, oh, there's rape in this game, and
I didn't
they're
see
chasing
anybody get
girls
raped.
down.
Well, that was one of the big things about it was either Phantasmagoria 1 or 2.
Ew.
It got an M because
Well,
there was
Roberta
a rape
Williams
scene
was
or
twisted.
something.
I'm sure there was probably a rape in there too.
I don't know. It was all FMV. It was like a
Yeah.
proto Final Fantasy game.
There
where
was
you
more-
just-
It was, yeah.
You walk around until you find an FMV sequence.
Yeah.
and
There was more blood and
Exactly.
guts in Slaughterhouse than there was in either of those two games.
Yeah, but Slaughterhouse was a fun game.
Yeah,
Slaughterhouse
exactly.
or Splatterhouse?
Splatterhouse.
Or sorry,
Wow.
Splatterhouse. Yeah. Speaking of, the new Splatterhouse looks pretty cool too.
So do you care about sexual themes in games? Does that
I think
It's
really
not a
even matter?
necessity, but
he
it's
just wants good games.
yeah.
There you. Oh my goodness. No way.
This is what we were arguing about this on Ars Technica when they
an argument on Ars Technica?
yeah.
Really?
like 4 or 5
Why would
weeks
you
ago.
argue on there?
There was a thing about the
Everyone
girls.
there's a fucking tard.
There was a
The
there was
opinions
a
from Mike.
studio that's like making games for girls, quote unquote. It was
Yeah.
women making games for women, and there's all these women going on, all these white knights on there going, yeah, you make more games for women, and all these women posting going, I don't give a fucking rat's ass who makes my games, just make good games.
Yeah.
You know, and people were like, no, all these fucking white knights going around trying to get laid on the internet by agreeing with people about stuff.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't work very well for me.
It doesn't work in real life. It doesn't work on the internet.
And then you end up with games like Imagine Babies or Imagine Babysitting or Imagine Barefoot and Pregnant.
What?
Yeah, I'm not making those games up.
It's a babysitter club aerogay game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A lot of imagination out there,
you know,
apparently.
Is there an option for a TV series on that on TV Tokyo? There's a manga of that, I'm sure.
I'm sure there is. There's a doujin of the Babysitters Club. I'm
It's-
absolutely certain.
No,
Oh,
no, the
God.
doujin is worse than the actual manga.
Yeah, yeah.
The doujin's like, So,
Rape, 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 rape. It's got a soundtrack by Tori Amos.
Yeah, it's Tori Amos.
so next up, in our last topic, Move and Connect. Do we care about motion control? We do if it's an arrow game.
Well, it's kind of a necessity with an arrow game.
Well, you know, I don't know.
I mean, Kinect would be
I
on-
want to look at the Kinect and see it work before. Now,
Well, they've only got 3 games showing for it right now. You
Yeah,
haven't
it's-
seen the whole
There-
lot of them that they had listed
There's
during
like a sports game, and then there's the furry simulator.
the furry simulator.
Yeah,
it was.
Well, they had
Fantastic, the
they had a
video
whole list of them at
It's-
E3.
it's
there was
called,
like 10 different games they originally
it's
announced.
called,
No, they had pictures of what they were going to basically be, and one of them was the Michael Jackson game. But they actually had a demo of you
No, was
able
that
to
Move
play
or
it.
was that the Kinect for the Microsoft?
No, for the Kinect,
Oh.
and it looked
Kinect-
pretty cool.
The Kinect, you know, I was looking at what was it on? Was it on
The yoga game?
Kotaku or was it on?
Did you see the furry
IO9?
video?
No. No, I did not.
They had at the big German game show. They had a version of it for you could go in and dance on, and they had 2 people dancing, and the person on the
Connectables.
The person on the left was actually a dude dressed in a furry outfit, and he was doing the dancing and the furry. Yeah, it was funny if nothing else.
I don't like nightmares, so I decided not to watch it.
It's hard enough for me to get to sleep as it is.
It was kind of like a train wreck. You started watching, you're like, I probably shouldn't watch this. I shouldn't care, but it's kind of funny to watch.
The move at least has learned a little bit from the Wiimote thing, because the little ball at the end is actually a little like hollow rubber thing. So if you throw it at your TV, you have a higher chance of not cracking your TV.
Or the controller for that matter.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's other uses
the
for
Kinect kind of fixes that part by not. I mean, you have to throw yourself at the TV, which I'm sure will happen once or twice, and somebody will get sued. For
I'm probably gonna buy the Move before the Kinect, and the only reason is I found a game on that's been on NCS for pre-order that looks really fucking funny.
Huh.
It's a game called Machi Suberi, and it's basically it's a video game where you play an office worker on your office chair and you're shooting down the street. And you've got to kick your way past triads and gangsters to make it to the end.
That game's already out.
No, it's not out.
They just reviewed it on GameSpot.
Oh, no, it's not out yet.
It's
not coming out until October 21st, but it looks hilarious, though.
It's, you're racing down using office chairs and whatever will roll to get away from triads.
So is this how the Japanese avoid, going into the, the subways or anything like that? Is it a way to commit seppuku?
They're coming to get us.
Oh, by the way, for those listening, there's some sort of fire engine or ambulance or something.
I think they can hear that because you can hear the siren. It's pretty obvious.
It's the
obviously Steve's apartment is not a sound studio and therefore not blocking outside input.
They probably got a report from someone. I hear these people making a podcast next door, and they're calling the police.
Well, they got mad after started talking about Aerogate Kinect games.
Yeah, I think
we're talking about Milo, and he's watching Fate Stay Night or something.
All 8 people who listen to this podcast are secretly cheering that we might go to jail, and there won't be another podcast.
There
won't be a Diehard Gamer Radio number 97 because we're all in jail. Can't make bail.
So what were you gonna say, Brian?
I just gotta wait for the rant to finish. Did you notice they already made a Move version for Biohazard 5, and also for Gun Shooting Perfect?
I know. Well, you would probably be interested in Gun Shooting Perfect because isn't that like a Namco?
Yeah, it's the old gun. The gun shooting game. It was the basic shooting game.
Games. Resident Evil.
Resident Evil
I would want to
was-
see it in. Well, yeah, these are like. I mean, the Resident Evil's like $105. The Gun Perfect's like 150.
man.
So
Wow.
I'd have to see it in motion or see it being used.
Does that come with the controller?
Yeah, it's a full box with a controller and everything. It's
better.
the pack, so it has to have it built into it.
I'll only play Resident Evil if it
They must.
allows my character's rear end and lower back to take up 3/4 of the screen, so I can't see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, well, like 2/3 of what you're paying for on both of these is the Move and the camera to do it. So I mean, it's not
PlayStation iToy.
Yeah,
or is
basically.
that the actual sensor
No,
for the
it's
Move?
not the iToy. I don't think it's It may be a newer version of the iToy. It doesn't look the same as the iToy that I've got at home though, but it has to have. It's just like the Wii. It's got to have that bar to
It has to have the
register,
sensor
and then it's
bar.
got to have your controller to work off of it. So. If you buy the controller by itself, it's like $40, but you buy it with the camera, it's like $76. So half of your pack price is right there.
Also, Heavy Rain gets a download to make it Move compatible.
So
Well, I guess if
They're
you wanna-
just trying to really integrate the Move, and they're doing it quickly now
okay.
by making all these games more available. So
And-
Heavy Rain just kind of disappeared. It was like a lot of noise about it, and then it was just gone.
it's weird
The
because the
barking flop.
reviews for it were really good,
Yeah.
and it was a cool game. It just didn't. It's kind of a niche thing that just doesn't appeal to a lot of people, unfortunately.
I
It
think
seemed
I
to
might
appeal
wanna
to a
try
lot
it.
of people that really liked visual novel stuff. I don't know why.
It was very noir and very like crime or old kind of gangster private detective kind of feel to it, and I don't think a lot of people are interested in that anymore.
Did you actually influence the end of the game, or was it just kind of you
I
were
got
just
no
watching
idea.
the
to
story?
to a certain extent you can, but it depends on how well you do.
There were different endings in the game.
Oh, okay. Because I was reading your reviews and got the impression that it was just kind of you were just seeing different parts of it, but there was just one set story, and you were just kind of stuff.
Well, there is, but you can influence the
Well,
story to a certain
That's
extent.
how the visual novel games work.
Yeah.
Basically,
That's why I don't enjoy them
you're on
very
a
much.
you're on a general path of something or other, but you can affect how the details happen. And
It's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you don't pick up the toothbrush right away before the Earth explodes, you can't clear the game. It's like that.
You know, I didn't like that game very much.
I don't think you liked any Infocom game.
You missed the toothbrush, didn't you?
I enjoyed Starcross, but only after I got the cheat book.
It wasn't a toothbrush. It was you had to feed the dog.
Oh,
I thought it was
that's right. Yeah.
I thought it was the towel.
No, well, you need the towel, otherwise you died much earlier. But if you didn't
Feed the fucking
feed the
dog.
dog, and then you turned on the improbability drive, you got zapped to that little fleet that was going to invade Earth. It gets swallowed by the dog. But if you feed the dog's not hungry anymore, so it doesn't eat the fleet. Although apparently I didn't remember this, but somebody was telling me that there's a way out of that where, like, when you're playing as Ford, you can run past that dog again, and you can actually feed the dog, and so you can actually pass at the end of the game or something. But it was 25 years ago, so I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find a Game Facts thread on that.
Well, it's probably
find it,
Wikipedia.
Emma. You probably
They,
find
Yeah,
they
it.
had
I'm sure.
a big Infocom article about like their parser and how it was cool and revolutionary for its time. But
Yep.
now they suck because it was just all text and
Well, Activision.
Yeah.
has some, yeah.
well, yeah,
Not
Activision kind of it's kind of like
So
EA.
so so
Yeah,
now
they were
so
EA
now you have to
there.
wait for the Xbox 360 version of I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Yeah.
The story was cool. I never played the game because it was a.
They need to come out
clicky
with a
adventure.
Connect
Fuck
version of Leather Goddesses of Phobos. I'd just like to add
The,
that.
I
Right
have
now.
no mouth. I have no
What?
mouth, and I'm a stream. Apparently, was a very sadistic game, and so it kind of.
It was a sadistic story.
Yeah,
it
so
was,
it kind of lined up with the story, really.
But you know,
There
if
wasn't
I,
like any good ending for the story.
No. Well, the story was so terrible ending. It was like, oh.
Well, it's Harlan Ellison, you know. He can't
Well,
write
how do you
anything
have a
good.
happy ending when you can't smile?
All right. So is there anything else we need to add before we wrap this up? We'll be at NDK. So if you want to meet,
Like, even
if you want to meet
No,
any
no
of
one
the
wants to meet
NDK
us.
staff,
You
we'll
don't-
be
you
in the
don't-
bar.
You don't know any of
Yeah.
us, but and you wouldn't recognize us if you saw us anyway.
Because we
but-
sound way different than we actually look like.
One of us drinks
Yeah.
a lot of screwdrivers. The other likes whiskey sours, and
I don't know.
I
Yeah,
drink
that's-
a lot.
Uh,
Well,
the other just likes to drink.
it's-
You
it's
kind of
Harlan
have
Ellison,
to.
even my writing is an asshole.
It is. It actually, that's his style.
It is. Even my novels are jerks.
That story is just like, hey, asshole, read me.
Yeah.
And you can't put it down because
And
it's
then
so
you're like-
sadistic.
It is. It's like
You're like a
it's sort of like
it's like, holy
aperture
fuck.
science before there was aperture science.
you're like that poor girl that just likes bad guys.
Yeah.
And you
Well, they're all
like to
that.
hang out with bad.
All right, well, that's it for Die Hard Gamer Radio. Join us again next time for more of the same. We'd also like to remind you that Die Hard Gamer Radio is your #1 source for Milo-related news and information
And Murdock will have his review of Halo Reach.
around.
Yeah, Halo Reach around.
The Arrow version.
the Eroge version.
The Arrow days.
Yeah.
It's the Spartans and their
The Spartans.
teabagging everyone.
I'm sorry. They just. Fuck, I can't believe no one has made that connection yet.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.